industry, those that people want, because honestly, it's the story that sells.
Network marketing is a storytelling business more than anything else. It's all about telling a good story. People love to hear a story.
Getting up in front of the room and telling the story is important.
Remember, Bill, it's how you say what you say. To summarize in my own words, remember, it's not so much what you want to say as what the customer wants to hear that makes sales.
5-6 months ago, I was kind of pondering the future, thinking about what's going on, wondering what the future held. It was one of those sleepless nights, and at about 2 in the morning one night, into my head popped gel technology. And I started to think, gel technology, that's a cool concept, because most companies only sell the capsules, the tablets, or some type of exotic juice with some miraculous story behind it. And so when I thought of gel technologies, I thought, wouldn't that be incredible if we could take a gel technology, put it into a little foil packet so that it's convenient, easy, and simple, and then combine that with a proprietary sweetener that I was working on, and create a gel-ceutical. And so really it's just been a few months ago that the original concept was had. The reason that I chose the network marketing venue for Agile rather than going traditional retail or something along those lines was because our products are so unique that it allows people to talk about it word of mouth, which is the whole premise behind network marketing. If you take out a product, one of our Agile products, and open it during lunch as you're sitting there, I guarantee someone will come up and say, hey, what is that? And it's a good segue to start telling people about the product, about the business, about the opportunity. And so it just really fit the business model that we wanted to use here at Agile. There's not been a good option for a network marketing company in the last 10 years. And so we're coming along, the timing is perfect, our product is there, it's unique, we're fresh, we're not just a copycat Me Too company. And so all these factors are coming together, converging. And so my vision for the future is that Agile will be the next giant in the industry.
Don't sell the steak, sell the sizzle. It's the sizzle that sells the steak and not the cow. Hidden in everything you sell in life is a sizzle. The sizzle is the tang in the cheese, the crunch in the cracker, the whiff in the coffee, and the pucker in the pickle.
If we have to twist your arm, if we have to convince you, then just forget about it. But if you were looking for the next big thing, you found it.
Over-the-top promises and nearly impossible sales claims put off many potential customers. But there are enough people out there who either love the hype or believe anything that they're told.
Right now, while we sit in this meeting, mass selling using all the spectacular resources of sound pictures and animated cartoons in color is helping to sell great masses of people in the way they like to be sold.
Dan Schwager, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Why Agile for me is quite simple. I really, really want this $29 million house in my dream book that I look at every night.
So while I was searching what I wanted to do, a lady handed me a card and said, she thought I had something about me and said, you can make, I can make you a couple $1 million. And she explained to me this principle of, and I seen this leverage, and if you do this and this happens, and it was the most amazing thing I ever seen in my life, man. I just got it right away. I don't understand why some people don't, but I did. I was sold right away. It just, that concept to me was it, and then I also heard some of the future plans of Agile, what they were planning on, going into other things and other products, and I just absolutely, something else was telling me. I had a good feeling on the inside. This was something to do. And I don't look back, I don't regret anything. Just the relationships that I created alone in this will take me to places that I dream. Sometimes you talk about something you're gonna do and you start talking about millions of dollars and people get scared or weirded out, and it's like, but then I hang out with the people I talk about and I say I want to make $100,000 a month, and they laugh at me because it's too little. So it's, you know what I mean? When you talk to somebody that hasn't made more than $40,000, $50,000 a year and say $1 million, they think it's impossible. And I don't, you know what I mean? I hang out with people that do it, and they make it monthly. So when you do that, you don't really think any of your struggle. Nothing's a struggle. I think every struggle I have is a lesson that I can learn from and, improve from it. The reason I want to make it while I'm so young and make it now is because I'm still young and I got the cars and the watches, and kids are gonna listen to me when I say you can be whatever you want, and help them read, as opposed to their parents or their teachers, because your teachers and parents say you can be whatever, but they're older, right? And you don't listen to them and you don't want to hear it from them. But coming from a guy like me who's been through, I've been through the good and the bad, and it didn't look like no one thought I was gonna amount to much, and all of a sudden, like you said, we'll see. We'll get my Range Rover, we'll get my house in California, and water all that.
I see a moment of opportunity that doesn't come by very often, and I took action. I'm at the halftime in my life, and I'm after more residual income, and that equals time, essentially. I want to spend more time with my family, and that's my big motive. But one of the things that I've learned along the way in the last 90 days with this business is helping other people create wealth. And specifically, I can tell you, I was on vacation in Salt Lake City. A fellow by the name of Tom Bismeyer made a comment that really struck a chord with me. He said, the biggest reward you'll receive from this business won't be the size of your check.
It'll be who you become through network marketing.
That really hit home. Well, this is not a lotto ticket. It is a moment of opportunity, and absolutely, it requires work. But the time, you can be compensated very well for the time that you put in. On the front end, you may put in a lot of time, and you might think, I'm a little bit underpaid. But the leverage features of this compensation plan on the backside of it is going to more than make up for the time that you put into it in the early days.
We realized that this could be the startup company that we've been looking for, and at the same time have a security for the future without having to worry about whether there was enough money there. For the first time, I feel as though we have a team that is ready to take on whatever's necessary to make Agile the major network marketing company around the world. We've got people in key countries that are really excited about this business, that are bringing in the masses with them. It's just been the most extraordinary experience. We just love traveling to Israel. It's been a really special place in our heart for the last 14 years. We had a wonderful opportunity to build our business there previously. We went back and forth for the last 14 years. We've developed wonderful relationships, really special connections with some of the wonderful people that we've made as friends over the years, with their families, with the children. It was natural that we would go back to those friends and those contacts that we had there, because we also see Israel as one of the greatest places as the opening, the gateway, we call that, to the world. Israel was the first comfort zone I had in going internationally. And so, you go back to your comfort zone. But now, as I said, I have my husband involved with me. So there are areas of the world that I had never been, and he is fearless. And so he gets on airplanes and he's willing to go to places that I've never been to before. And he's got a machete in his hand, and he's going out there fighting off all the alligators and the mosquitoes and the dragons. And so by the time I have a chance to come, there's going to be a beautiful paved team of people waiting for us over there because of David's leadership. Well, I think that a year from now with Agile, we will have achieved some of the dreams that we've always wanted to achieve in this industry. We see ourselves as being, far and above any place we've been in the past. We see ourselves being able to create many presidential directors in our organization. We were mapping that out today as we were thinking over our goals. We were specifically looking at specific leaders in our organization who have really stepped up. For the first time, I feel as though we have a team that is ready to take on whatever's necessary to make Agile the major network marketing company around the world.
And what made you kind of take that jump, take that leap into this?
You know, I love Russia. I understand Russia. I understand the people, the culture, the way they do business. And I'm not shy, about trying to do business there. So I've been doing business with Russia for 10 years. And it's just my forte. I speak the language. I've lived there before. So I have good experience. I have a good company where there, is loyalty involved. And so I feel like it's something that I can do. I want to set up some groundwork. We're looking at infrastructure mainly. We're not going over to do to gather a lot of people together and to do presentations. This is actually to go over to find key people whom we feel have the capability to run Agile from Russia. And so, and we have good connections, and really, we're mainly interested in seeing how strong, those connections are and what they are able to do. Our main goal is to find a technician, a food technician, scientist. They're able to test the product as a food. That I feel is easier to do than to test it as an herb. And we will set that person up with Agile. They can contract, with that institution. But the process should take about 2 months. And so we really, want to get the ball rolling.
Basically, network marketing companies come in various flavors, but most fall somewhere in between two extremes. The ones that make you cringe and the ones that don't. Here's why. First, you have the recruitment-driven companies that focus more on signing up new distributors than on selling products. It is illegal for companies to focus on recruitment alone because the structure then becomes a pyramid, and you remember the airplane game. Woohoo! However, many companies do produce revenues primarily by attracting new participants. Historically, these are the companies that have had legal and image problems due to outrageous sales claims and the pressure to keep the sign-ups coming in. Admit it, if your Amway buddy calls you, there's a cringe factor. You're always expecting an invite to spend an evening in a hotel conference room. Ultimately, all network marketing companies do sell products, but in many, the inventory just keeps moving down the line until someone can't move it any further. Just check out eBay. It's loaded with cheap MLM merchandise that has reached the end of the downline. On the flip side are the more traditional direct sales companies like Tupperware, Pampered Chef, and Avon. These companies often rely on in-home demonstrations or themed parties for their sales. You get invited to one of those parties, and all you have to do is buy some pots, pans, or hand lotion. While many of these outfits still put an emphasis on recruitment, they also allow people to make a living based solely on income from product sales. Consequently, these companies often enjoy a much more positive public image. In the 1970s, many direct sales companies saw their door-to-door operations falter because no one was home. So many women had entered the workforce that companies had to overhaul their marketing plans, and many chose network marketing, which allows for more informal methods of sales.
I love the fact that this is free enterprise in its rawest form. It's a dude with a $35 distributor kit operating out of his house and with a passion and energy about our brand. I love the fact that the success stories are not your average success story. Network marketing is not the Wharton School of Business graduate that was born with a silver spoon in his mouth for the most part. Pretty normal people, a guy in your street, your mom.
Did he just say something about my mom? Anyway.
Someone like that is an average story in network marketing.
So much of the American economy depends on the salesman's success. Therefore, the salesman who can move merchandise is always in demand. He is never out of work. Anybody can work at a bench or sit behind a desk, depending on somebody else's favor to get ahead. But the salesman is his own boss.
What's your next point? Don't argue. Arguments just make people mad. You don't get people to buy things by making them mad at you.
Listen, sir. I wasn't in the limo. I didn't rent the limo. I have no idea what you're talking about, and quite frankly, I don't care. This is between you and him. I have nothing. This is like, you're. But I wasn't in it. I have nothing to do with it. So stop calling me and stop talking like this. I'll call the police on you for harassing me. You're gonna do a U-turn. Don't give me BS. I wasn't in it, buddy. Guess what? Now you're not getting his number. Have fun.
you gotta live on the phone. And I don't like to say that because people that, you know, I might watch this and say I hate the phone, but, you know, you can build your business over the phone. You can build a multi-million-dollar business over the phone. At least get your people in, you know, enough people so you come out there and...
Well, in this, I'm going to teach you to be better than me, because the more you make, I make. Even if you do something really dirty behind my back, I'm still going to help you because it's going to bring in the money. You can change more lives doing this than you can anything. You do not know how many people have come to me in tears thanking me for what I've done for them. And that's all I've done is show them an opportunity. You come to Dallas, Texas with us the third week in August, and if you don't think it is a life-altering, life-changing event, this positive thing that you've ever been to in your life, if you don't think it's life-changing, you don't want in after Dallas, Texas, when you paid it, I'll give you $300 back. There's nothing more important, I believe, in your life than to come up with $300 to get a ticket to Dallas, Texas. All right? Nice talking to you too. She's down, man. She wants to go to Dallas, but she's got a car payment. She's gonna try everything she does.
Hey, that doesn't matter. Sacrifice.
You gotta pay her car payment to go there.
Yeah,
she seems like she's cool, though.
She's very receptive, you know. That's what we gotta follow up with it the moment we get back. You gotta put her, you know what I mean? We gotta put her in front of the laptop and I'll show her my downline how I made my money.
You gotta use the phone a little bit. You gotta make some calls. You gotta do some three-ways and stuff like that. But don't let it scare you away from a good industry. I'm gonna go and see how much money I made while I was sleeping last night. Isn't that beautiful? How many people are you? How many are there of you that make money while you're sleeping? You know, what is more beautiful than that? You go to work from 8 to 5. You know, how much money you make after you leave work at 5 and you don't make any, you know what I mean? And the stock market's closed or whatever it is, you don't, you know, or you get paid hourly, you're done. No, I only made $100 last night. That must have been, I don't know. Hope people didn't go to work, but I made $100 while I was sleeping. More than you made, wasn't it? I usually check my volume 2 or 3 times a day. You know, it's good to see that you made $100 and you had nothing to do with it, you know what I mean?
So what was your first month's check?
It was $3,500. And I guess that's pretty good for network. You know, in network marketing, this is my first experience. Once you work for yourself and you do whatever you want to, you know, you do what you love. Trying to go back and to have somebody tell you what to do, I never liked it in the first place, and you really can't go back to it. So I make ends meet. I'll do a little something here or there. Like I said, you shouldn't quit your job until you secure that check. And I quit both of them. I had some money in the bank because I was doing, you know, so well in the other 2 jobs and working so much with spending anything. And then with this, you know, I traveled a lot. I went to a lot of the events, and I put myself in a little bit of debt here, eating out, hotels. I mean, it costs some money, but it's all tax write-off too. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind what is going to come out of this. So literally, I would not be afraid to go, and I don't recommend this at all because I'm so damn sure of myself. I would go take a $100,000 loan out of the bank, and I guarantee him I'll pay him back in 2 years. So it doesn't even matter. You know, that's just the confidence I have, and a lot of people will probably say I'm crazy, but that's just what it is. And I come from a guy sitting on the beach in Fort Lauderdale chilling, man, doing nothing. And I'm nothing special. I just got some dreams, and I want to make it happen. I'm not going to stop till it does, and that's it.
Everything's just building, and we've been building for the last 6 weeks for the Dallas event. Everyone in this region that is engaged in Agile has been very excited about what's getting ready to happen in Dallas. And regardless of your background, regardless of whether you're a business owner or who you work for, what industry you're in, you can be successful in this business. This is an opportunity that comes around only several times in a lifetime, I believe. This is one of the greatest opportunities that I've seen. So we're building for this Dallas event, and it's going to be an exciting event for us. We're calling it Buses to Dallas, and we've got 2 private coaches, a chartered coach, And those buses are going to be traveling to Dallas, loaded with people excited about the event in Dallas. And so we're making a charge to Dallas to really put Austin, Texas on the map. We've got a couple of helicopters going to be involved in it. And so we've just created an environment of excitement about this business, and we're charging to Dallas to continue to get information that our team needs and desires to continue building their agile business.
Thank you. Hank Hutcherson, Austin, Texas. I'm proud to be here tonight. I have a lot of places to go, and I want to get there in a Gulfstream aircraft. That's why Agile. Glenn has created a very simple idea that it's going to allow me to apply global leverage to create residual income and real wealth, and that's why I'm here.
I've heard it described as follow the sun leverage or follow the sun business. When we go to sleep at night here, our organizations overseas are just waking up to start their day of business. So isn't that an incredible feature to this business, to be able to leverage the globe or follow the sun? The residual income component of this business is very important. If you're not leveraging the globe right now, you're at risk. I'm very excited about the fact that I'm able to build this business with my wife. That's exciting to me. We're traveling around doing agile business briefings, and being able to share that time and share that experience with my wife is a neat feature to this business.
I guess I'm here because he brought this to my attention after going to Salt Lake City, and I was amazed that he was so excited about something that I would have never assumed he would be interested in. And after I kind of got off of my the shock, and started looking at it, I've become excited as well. I've already seen great success with our family and friends, and I'm just very, very excited about Agile and what it's going to do for our future and our children.
I believe the call came in from Glenn Jensen to each of us. Come with me and change the world. Thank you.
That's great.
This is what makes it so remarkably exciting for me this time around with Agile, because we are going to change lives. I can go and talk to people and say, listen, you need to try this and check out my website. Okay, and I'll call you tomorrow, or I'll call you later this afternoon, or what about an hour from now? This is velocity. This is velocity in a business. This is what takes a business like this. This is how we're able to put over 4,000 people in our organization in Israel, okay, on the basis of a package, okay, that they didn't even have yet.
Having established numerous business contacts in Israel, Anna and her husband David knew right away that that's where they wanted to expand their Agile business. In July 2005, we followed Anna as she traveled to Israel for the grand opening of Agile Israel.
This is Tel Aviv, and we're going to celebrate with a great lunch today. I've just gotten here to Israel. For those of you that think we're only on camels, there's a lot more than just camels and Bedouins that live here in Israel. This is not a third world country, no matter what anybody thinks. It's at least a first world.
Airport City. This is the home of Agile Israel.
Oh, I love it! Here's another one.
There's another one over there.
I love it.
Look at that.
Mashu mashu. See you later. There were a lot of challenging moments in getting the operation open, but that opening, when we opened the country and had that official ribbon cutting ceremony with the president of the company there, Craig Bradley, who cut that ribbon, standing next to Michael Sandler. To me, it was the celebration of the year because of all the challenging factors that we had been through. And then the rabbi came and he blessed the building, which is very important in their culture. It was something that I watched Craig Bradley's face as he watched that happening, and you know, we all knew that was the beginning. They put a blessing on the building that gave us the luck and the viability and the freedom to move forward.
I want you to understand that for you here tonight, Israel will just be a springboard for your business.
אני רוצה להגיד לכם שהיום תדעו לכם שישראל הולכת להיות קרש הקפיצה למדינות אחרות של העסק שלכם.
I came as a new person to network marketing.
Yes.
16 years ago.
Yes.
Knowing a wonderful lady called Ann Feinstein. And I think we did good together.
We did really good
We have a
together.
new company now called Agile, and you're all very welcome to be here. Thank you.
Tell them who you are.
I'm the general manager of Agile Israel.
Do you think this was harder than you thought it would be, or easier than you thought it would be, or?
I just didn't expect to run into so much resistance because of other companies that are here. So it's really just going to take some research on how we can break that perspective that seems to be prevalent.
So the resistance that you're facing is not competition, but
Bad reputation
from
other companies like Herbalife. I'm not certain. Herbalife seems to be the main one. I'm very curious as to the why, the why of it. But I do think that because Agile's a good company, I mean, I think there might be, we'll see, some convincing that we can do to help change that perspective. In Moscow, I was happy that my friends, at least, were interested in pursuing, the network marketing idea and the product. But they were also clearly informed as to what had happened in the past, and even being loyal and having connections, that they have, they were still rather hesitant, willing perhaps because we are friends. And maybe that's how it's going to work. Maybe those people who do get involved will only get involved because they know the next person, quite well. It's just having to be innovative and having to deal with this country, of this land of inconvenience and unknowns and nonsense. There's a lot of nonsense I've had to deal with.
It's for some people inconvenience is what is convenience.
Exactly.
They feel like fish and water in that house.
I know. It's only because communism has convinced them that convenience is good, inconvenience is good. There's reservation also, in our country, in America. But I haven't given up. I've caught the vision. So maybe it's just helping them catch the vision as well.
Through her travel business, Tia has had numerous contacts and friends in Russia for more than a decade. She saw it as a gateway through which she could help open Russia and build her Agile downline. Her first step was to meet with some Russian scientists who would validate the value of Agile's products. She and Boris also sought the advice from numerous Russian business professionals. She soon learned that they, like many in Russia, had their own agenda.